Good afternoon, Deltona Fire Department. We're here today to discuss our new Combat Sniper hose. I'm going to go over a few of the positives, one of the negatives, and one of the moments in which we'll be transitioning from a triple layer load into a modified Minuteman. The Combat Sniper hose is designed to work with low pressure nozzles and allows for the same GPM at a reduced pressure. The lower coefficient allows for reduced friction loss, less stress on the mechanical parts. The only negative we're encountering so far is the fact that due to the rigid design of the hose, we are going to have to switch from the triple layer load to the Minuteman load.
The modified Minuteman can be a bottom load or a top load, referring to where your piping is coming in. On engine 61 and tower 65, your piping comes in through the top and you'll have a top load modified Minuteman. On all other trucks, you'll have a bottom load modified Minuteman. We have 3 sections of hose protecting the male and 1 section protecting the female, and our pony section should already be pre-connected to the truck.
Alright, so we're going to show you how to load it. It's pretty easy. The 3 sections are going to be just a straight storage roll. The only difference is with the nozzle section, we're going to essentially load it in a storage roll but out of service. So we're going to start from the female coupling and roll it up. All the other 3 sections, you're going to roll it from the male section.
Why do we do the storage rolls?
We have to roll it into a storage roll to get the air out and to get the hose flatter, because with this new Sniper hose, it's a kink resistant style hose, which it flows great, but unfortunately in the triple layer load it retains a lot of air. So we're storage rolling it to get all that air out, and we're going to load it right off the storage roll, which we'll show you here in a minute. Here we got all our hoses on the ground. You can roll them directly off of the roll, or load them directly off the roll, I should say. So the most important part is when you're loading this, you want, when you're facing the hose bed or the pre-connect section, you want the nozzle to be on your left and all the rest, the loop on your right side. So we'll start on this right side of the tray. We obviously pulled the tray down on the ground, and you're going to give yourself a little tail just so you can make that connection with your pony section that comes out of the truck on the top. So I'm going to leave enough tail about right there, and then all it is a flat load. So we're going to load it with long shorts. So we'll have a long here, and then do a pretty short, so you can go, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches or so. And we're just flat loading it straight up. And if you look over here, Firefighter Clark's just unrolling it. All right, so Firefighter Clark just made the connection. Now we're on our second 50-foot section. I'm making a short here. This is where you're going to start your loop. So you have 50 feet flat loaded into our second section with our coupling here. We're going to make a loop. Chief Sievert made. You really don't need a big loop, maybe about a foot or so. And then continue loading the second 50-foot section on top of the first. Now that we've loaded the second 50-foot section, 100 feet, we're on to the third section at 150 feet here. And this is where we're going to do that, if you remember in fire standards, that racetrack turn. So if you watch this real closely, we're just flipping the hose upside down, and it should look something like that. So from here, we're going to start our third section. We're at the 150 foot mark here. And just continue with your flat load, long shorts. All right, so this is where it might get a little complicated for you. This is our third section at 150 feet. We just kind of need to judge the distance of where this needs to be. We want this coupling to connect somewhere about down here, just to be out of the way. If you can pan up over here, just to be out of the way of that discharge where it comes out the top. So if we get it close to the nozzle, within a foot or so, that's about where we want to be. So I'm just going to make that adjustment back here on my fold. Again, that's not super imperative. And then we're just going to flip that back like that. That's going to stay out of the way. Now we start on our fourth section. We're at our 200 foot mark with the nozzle, the bail down against the hose. Right now we still have the pistol grips on. We're looking at removing them for multiple reasons. That'll be covered in a future date. But you just load the hose. Don't worry about going long, short. Just load it right up to that pistol grip. Now we've just loaded our nozzle section, the 50 foot, the last 50 foot. This is where we take our couplings, and you're gonna take this male, connect it together. Gasket is present and the swivel works. And then from here, you just kind of make it look pretty. All right, now you connect the pigtail. Gasket's present, swivel works. All right, so the biggest thing to know about this is when loading it, you want someone to keep this kind of up and out of the way. So we'll have Chief Siebert right there, keeping that up and out of the way. That's it. There's your hose load.
We are now going to demonstrate a bottom load officer side deployment from a bird's eye view. The firefighter on the left is now going to create the loop in which you want about 12 inches. The firefighter on our right is creating the racetrack and transitioning to the second stack. The firefighter on the right is setting aside the tail, and the firefighter on the left is loading in the nozzle upside down and starting with a new section. The male and the female couplings will be connected, and then the hose will be laid to look neat back into the hose bed. While we stare at Lieutenant Bellaflore's amazing mustache, we are now going to demonstrate how this hose load is deployed.
So it's essentially a modified Minuteman. We got Firefighter Clark here taking the first 50 foot, putting it on his shoulder with the nozzle. And then he's gonna grab the loop and just jump in the ground. Once he reaches the end of the loop and it pulls tight, he's just gonna continue to the door, and he'll still have 50 foot on his shoulder at the door. All right, so after he pulls the loop in the left-hand taut, it's important to keep that last 50 foot nozzle section on your shoulder until you get to the door. This allows you just to advance the hose line a little bit better in the door. From here, you can flake it out however you need, but now you have 50 foot ready to go in the door with you. At this point, he's calling for water, and that's it.